Before we get started with today's build, I just wanted to let you know that this is my first build with Agora Models, and this particular model has a lot of parts. There's a learning curve, and there's some things I came across, some tips and tricks that I really wanted you guys to know. So this video runs a little bit longer than my normal video, but I think the extra footage is really worth it for you guys. Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the Maker's Cave. And today we're really excited because we got our first part in from Agora Models. This is the New York City Fire Department ladder number 9, the ladder truck from Engine Company 33. And we're going to be putting together this first part. For those of you who aren't aware, this ladder truck is part of Engine 33 Company. So Agora Models is dedicating this truck. And for every truck that they sell, they are donating to the, let me get this right, the New York Fire Department Foundation, which promotes fire and life safety education and helps further the fire department help better protect New York. All right, so we're going to start off. We're going to open the box, see what's in here. And as always, we'll start off with the literature. Like I said, this is the first time I've done an Agora Models, so I'm a little unfamiliar with their routine. But it looks like they do include a flyer here. All right, I don't believe that this is life-size, is it? I don't think it is. But here is a picture of what it's going to look like when we're all done. And everything on here works. It's got lights, it's got siren. The ladder extends up, I think, 36 or 37 inches for the bucket. All the cabinet doors open up. One of the things we might be adding as a benefit is the cabinets have some equipment in it, but not all of it. I think we're going to make some 3D resin prints of all the different equipment that we can put into these cabinets to make it really realistic. I don't think this folds out anymore. I just think it's really thick. However, you can, I guess, use this as a poster. You could frame that if you wanted to. This is a screw guide. Now, if you watch any of my other builds, I use a little custom thing to hold all the screws with. And I'm sure there's screws in these bags, but I don't see any, but I'm sure they're in here. There has to be, because we got a screwdriver. But these are where I'll be keeping all the screws. I'll be able to label them. But this, in the shape of the fire badge, this is a screw guide. So we know exactly what all the screws look like. Excuse me. So if for some unfortunate reason you dump your screws all over the ground, you know what bin they go in. This is going to be really handy. I like this. Okay, so we spread everything out here, packages 1 through 7. And on the back of the poster they gave us right here, which is what threw me off because I'm used to an instruction manual coming inside the boxes, they actually want you to go to their site right here to their download center and you download the manual. And I really like that because I printed everything out. Everything's all in color. So it's really detailed. It's really easy to see what parts you're working with and where they got to go. I really like that. But at first I panicked a little thinking they forgot to send me the instruction manual. But no, you have to go to their site and download it and get these great detailed instructions. So like with the other builds, I'm going to bring you guys forward and we're going to start building everything. All right, so the first thing we're going to start on is, looks like package 01 here. And looks like this is going to be some tire work. So I want to, you know what, there's a lot of parts in here, so I don't want to go cutting it with the X-Acto knife. All the parts are packed pretty nice. Here's the tires, and looks like there's a mystery piece in here. Okay, ladder tower. I think this might be part of a bumper. It's the ladder nameplate. And, oh, it's starting to come out of the package. It's, oh, very nice. It's all made of metal. Very good quality painting, too. All right, so we'll put this up here. Have all the pieces for this, and let's start building. Assembling the wheel. So they want us to take the tires out. And all these are in Ziploc bags too in this model, which is real nice. So you don't have to use your X-Acto knife. a whole lot. Now the first thing I'm checking is the tread of the tires. I want to make sure that there's not a certain way you got to mount these to make the tread look correct. And it's not. So that's one less thing we have to worry about. So we are going to take the inner wheel, and they want us to put that into one of the tires here. They say you can just push it in here, but usually they say try soaking in hot water if it doesn't go in that easy. So we lay the tire like this, and this tire feels pretty soft. Let me just see if I can just fly that piece all over. Let me see if I can just push that tire in right now. And that's a no. Okay, so we're going to soak this in some hot water, and then we'll be back. And the first thing I'll do is I'm scanning all the pieces up here to make sure we're not doing a tire farther down, so we don't have to heat any others. We are not. So we're gonna go heat these tires in some water. I think I'll use my magic formula of heating water for 3 minutes on high and letting it soak for 3 minutes. And then we'll show you how we can push that right in. Okay, like I said, 3 minutes on high, 3 minutes in the water. We'll take the lid off. And as I've learned before, don't stick your fingers in. So let's get a paper towel. Keep our work area dry. Take out the one tire. And now as you can see now, very, very pliable. Move this up here so you can see. And now we'll just push this, in theory, right in. And look, it pops right in. Now don't worry if it actually feels loose. That's because it's hot. Once the tire starts to cool down, it'll tighten up on the rim. So make sure all the mating surfaces are there. Okay, so now what it wants us to do is take the outer wheel right here, and we're going to put that into the remaining tire. And we'll get that out of here. Dry it off. And that one pushes in just like this. And there we go. Both tires are on. Now they want us to go right here, keep this tire like this, and this one goes on here. There are some registration marks right here. I don't know if it's going to be easy for you guys to see, but there's little posts right here. And then there's little holes in here. This goes in here like this, matches in with the registration marks. And they match up just like that in those holes like this. Now what they want you to do here is they actually want us to do some gluing. They want us to put some little spots of glue right in between these holes here. And then hold the tires together so they stick. So they don't want us to just put a big blob. They just want us to put little tiny dots of super glue right here to hold it. So we'll take the super glue, glue my fingers to the paper, just like that. So we got a little bit of super glue on there. And we're just going to dab the end of the screwdriver in there. And just put a little bit right in there. Now we line those up with those pins in there, and we'll just hold these together for about half a minute. Okay, so they are now held very tightly in place. So the tires are done. So we are going to put this aside. So now we're going to move on to step 2, which looks like we're going to be doing some work with the fire hose. So we'll take these parts out. Okay, so here's the nozzle. Here's a little tiny bit right here. And here is the very, very small fire hose. So we're going to assemble this hose pack. It says on the free end of the hose, snip any frayed ends off. So we got our scissors right here. It's not too frayed, so I'm just going to go right here. And on this end right here is where they want us to put some of that super glue. Okay. I'm going to hit this with some zip kicker to bind that on there real quick. Okay, so the hose is now on there. Okay, so we have the hose. It's attached. Now they want us to take the other end, and I'm going to get rid of these frays right here. And they want us to fold this over. And it actually goes inside this tube. So they want us to put some, I'll get some super glue again. And now with this folded over part of the hose, they want us to put that inside this piece. I'm going to hold that there for about 40 seconds. And that piece is on there. So there is the hose pack all completed. They want us to actually take that now and they want us to roll it up. So you're just kind of rolling it. You don't want to pull it super tight, but you want it to be tight. Okay, so that's what it looks like, all rolled up. And what they want us to do is apply some super glue just before the end to stop the hose from unrailing. So this is an aesthetic piece, which is, I guess, is going to go into one of the cabinets. So what they would like us to do is to put some super glue right about there, which is what I'm going to do. Right there. And I'm going to roll this right there. Okay, so after about 40 seconds of holding in place, we now have a hose pack all done. I put it this way. All right, so we're going to be moving to stage 2 now, where it looks like we're going to be doing some doors. And the doors are pretty interesting on this because the windows actually roll up and down. The little handles on the door make the handle go up and down. That is some incredible engineering and detail. So let's get those parts out. Okay, all the pieces are out. So let's move on to assembly of stage 2. All right, we're going to be doing some more gluing. They want us to take one of these tow hooks. So we're going to hold these with the tweezers. And we're going to take the rear of the rear diamond plate. It looks like diamond plate, but this part is plastic. So there's little tiny slots right in here. And that is where the tow hook is going to go into. They're wobbling a little, so I'm actually going to hold it here. And I'm making sure it's perpendicular to the bumper, so it's not crooked. Now I think just to make this a little bit more secure, and I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on the back here where it comes through, so just to make sure it holds it tight. Now they want us to do the same thing for the other side. And I think actually we don't need tweezers for this. I think we can do this with our fingers. Looks like that one didn't hold on all too well. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit on the back like we did with the other. And we're going to hit it with our favorite. And now that's in there nice and tight. We're going to be assembling the door. So they want to take this part here. And they want us to take this itty bitty tiny door handle here. And put that in the door assembly. There's a little hole. Put that right in there. And again, with tweezers, it's great for holding it, but applying it in there isn't that easy with the tweezers. So we're just going to do that by hand. Press firmly until you feel it click into place. Okay, so you are supposed to feel a little bit of resistance. Now I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you don't want to push on the door handle itself. You want to push on the post, because if you try pushing it in with the door handle, it's going to snap off and you got a whole nother problem. Okay, so there it is in. And now there's this tiny little gear. Now on the end of the door handle that we put through, the little post that sticks through is square. And the tiny gear they want us to put on now, the center of it is square. There you go, with a little bit of working. It's in there. I'm going to turn the handle and the gear moves, so we're good. Again, just a little bit of patience and it's not that bad at all. We have the door, and they want us to put some super glue here, at this point here, and these 2 points down here. And that's because it's going to fit onto here, I think. Yes. Now when you're putting this on here, you want to be very careful you don't drip any on that gear. So you have this here. And what they want you to do is to make sure these parts are firmly in place, or aligned rather. Now in order for it to go in, it's got to align with the gear that works the window. This one is the only one giving me a little bit of a problem. Okay, I just had to be careful and patient, and it finally snapped into place, as you probably heard right there. All right, and just to make sure it does work, I don't know if you can see here, but we're going to move the crank of the window. And there's the door handle, and the window goes up and down. We're going to move this window up so it doesn't snag. Now, the next thing it wants us to take is this white inner cab panel. I think it's going to be very good that you dry fit some of these pieces first before you just jump right in and start gluing them up. All right, so we dry fit that. So now we're going to apply the glue to it. And since this is gel, I'm just going to actually put spot right there, spot right there. That's why the gel super glue is really good, because you can control it so well. It doesn't just run all over the place. So now we are going to put this on the door. You just press firmly down and they'll go in. Okay, so that's in there. Okay, now over here, if you can see, there's a little recess right here, and that's where they want us to take this door panel and put that in there, apply a drop of super glue to the recess of the door handle. And the door handle goes, it's a little half circle cut out in there. There's a little half circle here. So I know that the door goes this way right here. So I'm just going to put a small drop right in here and then drop this right in. Okay, so the door is done. At least I think it is. So that stage is complete. It's showing us the door and the rear bumper is all done. All right, so now we're going to move on to stage 3. And here is step 1. So we're going to take stage 3 out. Here are all the stage 3 parts. And we're going to be starting off with the grill, which is this one right here. And this little package contains 3 little pieces, which is the overall outside grill, real fine metal mesh grill for the inside, and crazy small insignia which says Seagrave, which is the maker of the ladder truck who manufactures it. So they want us to take the grill right here, put a couple drops of super glue on the back of the Seagrave logo, and then attach it to the grill. That a little bit better. Now there is a rough outline on this grill, so you know where to lay this on here. So once again, we're going to take our super glue Just going to put a little on here. And now we're going to lay it right on top of this grill. Right here. Using the tweezers, we're going to move it into place. Right there. Perfect. They want us to turn this piece over here and put in the grill. So there's a piece of plastic, I'm using the wrong finger. There's a piece of plastic right here, and here this is a wider or longer piece of plastic. This notch in this grill is wider on this end right here. So that needs to fit into there. And it just press fits right in there. And there you go. There is the grill done with the logo and the nice grill behind it. All right, next we are going to be moving on to assembling the door. So they want us to take this piece right here. And I got to be careful opening this up because once again, looks like we got maybe some windows going to be doing here, because there is another gear. There's another door handle, a door opener, and then there's the crank for the window. So it wants us to, like we did before, take this door, and it wants us to put the crank handle through the door. So again, you want to push only on this post end, not on the lever, because you don't want to break it. Okay, I don't know if you saw, I'll show you what I did. I had trouble getting that door handle in there. And what I think it is the hole is the perfect size until they paint this, and then it makes the hole a little smaller. So all I did very lightly is take my X-Acto knife and I just rotated it around the hole on one side. And I went around to the other side, rotated the knife around again. And this time when I put the door handle in, it went right through with no problem. So I'm going to keep my finger on the back here on this door handle because I am pretty sure that we are now going to be putting, yes, we are going to take the gear. The flattest side once again goes up. And there we go. It is in there. Make sure it's fit all the way down. Like I said, the post on this other side of this door handle is square. There's the square in the middle of the gear, so it holds it and aligns it. So we're going to keep that there. And now it wants us to take some super glue and put some right here and these two spots right down here. And just like the other one, wants us to put this right on here. Being careful to make sure you, since it's the super glue and it's going to set up quick, that you have the alignment just right. And I do. The handle does work the window. So that's good. You want to set that in there. Let that dry for a while until we move on to the next. And they want us to put some super. There's a tiny little post right here. There's a protrusion here with a hole in the middle. Not that one, but right below it, there's a little nibbly bit, and they want us to put some super glue on there. And like I said, for the next build, we will get us some toothpicks. Okay, so that's on there. And press fit the door on there. Okay, we're going to lay that just like that for now. And now, much like the other one, they want us to put a dollop of glue on there so we can put the door handle on there. And again, there's a half circle cut in that metal door. There's a half circle post on the back of this. So there is only one way you can fit this in there. And there you go. That is in there. That is it for the front grille and the rear left cab door. What are we moving on to next? Oh, and that's all we did. Now we are moving on to stage 4. Now you'll fix the speaker and the air horn to the front bumper of your fire truck, and we'll assemble a seat. So here's all the parts for stage 4. Let's see what we're going to do first. And I want to reiterate that I don't look at any other videos before I do this. I don't look at the instructions before this. You're looking at this. If you're looking at this for the first time, I'm looking at this for the first time. So you get to learn right along with all my do's and my don'ts. All right, stage 4, front bumper, air horn, speaker, and seat. And before we get started, we'll just take a look at this speaker with this seat. This seat has incredible detail. There's a Scott pack, it looks like, in the back, which is, the apparatus they use for breathing. They build them into the seats so it's easy for them to put on while they're sitting there. There's little brackets that hold it. And there's the detail I like is this tiny little sticker here for NYFD, for the New York Fire Department. It's right on there, and you can't even read it, but you can tell there's lettering there. The detail's really, really good on this. All right, so we're going to take the bumper here, and we're going to be fitting the air horn, which is right here. So it goes right into here. Yeah, it just slides right in. That's it. And we are done. Okay, then fitting the speaker, which goes over to here. Apply a drop of super glue to the edges of the rectangular recess, which is right here. And we're just going to put a little right in here. So I'm going to use the tweezers for this. I'm going to put one edge in here and then use my finger to hold it. And then that's it. It is in there. Next, in stage 4, apply a little super glue to the underside. We're going to take the seat here to the underside of the seat, avoiding the 2 rectangular tabs. Okay, so here, my knife of pointing. Here are the 2 tabs. They don't want you to put any super glue near there. It looks like they want you to kind of put some super glue right in the middle of those 2 tabs. And that's going to go into the holder, which is right here for the seat. Okay, so they want us to take the seat. Here's the seat post. It goes like this. And they want us to put a little bit of super glue in the dead middle of here, not on these tabs. Just put a little super glue right in there. And now put the seat post onto here. Press the 2 pieces together firmly. One side went right on. Okay, seat post is attached to the seat. And that is it for stage 4. Okay, so we did the bumper. We have an LED right here for a light, which we're not going to use. We'll save that for later. And we did the car seat, or the jump seat. All right, now we are on to stage 5. All right, we have all the pieces for stage 5 laid out here, all knolled out. So step 1 for stage 5 is assembling the antenna. So take the antenna and the antenna part B, aligning them as shown before pushing them firmly together. So it's this part here and this round part here, and they are lined up. Okay, I pushed them together. They are assembled. Now they want us to take the cab roof, and they want us to push the orient it like the picture of the instructions, and right where it goes, right here, right above, or I guess it would be below the 9, is where we put the antenna. It looks like it's just a press fit. But this cab roof is plastic, so you don't want to push too hard and bend it. And it snaps right in. It's a press fit. That is in. Next, they want us to take assembling the condenser. So we bring this part in, and they want us to take this frame here. And again, this also just gets press fit, it looks like, in there. push the pegs firmly into place. So yes, that would be, they are just press fit. You want to make sure they go in straight because you don't want to bend the pegs. There's the frame on the condenser right there. Now it wants to take a drop of super glue to the ledge around the condenser grill frame, and they want us, oh, okay. So they have this grill that goes on top. Now, there is a small recess in this frame. I want to make sure which way it goes in. So I'm going to take a little bit of super glue here and just lightly apply it to the inside frame here. I don't think we need that much. I'm just going to put it at the four corners. Now I'm just going to take the condenser grill and lay it right in there. And there you go. It is in there. There's the grill on top of the condenser. Okay, so they want us to now bring back the top of the cab. And this is where we're going to put the condenser on here. So on the condenser, let me get the super glue out of the way. On the top of the cab, there's two small holes right here and here. They look to be of different sizes. They are. This hole here is a little wider, and this hole is a little smaller, which corresponds with this. So you can only put the condenser in there one way. So that's what we're going to do. And again, it's just a press fit. You want to make sure it is in there snug though. So here we go, ladder 9. You got the condenser and we got the antenna we put on earlier. We're going to go to step 3, and it's another radio antenna, and it's this one. And we're going to orient it the way they have it in here. And again, there's two holes here. One is bigger than the other. This is the bigger hole. This is the smaller hole. And on this one, this is the bigger post. So it goes in here like this. I like how we're doing a lot of press fitting, not a whole lot of putting screws in. All right, and then on step 4, all right, they want us to come back to the light that we got in the previous stage. Oh, I was getting ready to take the wire tie off here, and they're showing it not to. This square hole right in the middle here of the cab, they want us to put that right through there. And then it looks like this also is a press fit. It's got a couple wings on the side here that when they go through this square, they snap into place. And now this light bar is on here. They're calling it LED, but it's the light bar. Okay, so that's done. Well, we're moving right along here. And that is it for stage 5. We did the top of the cab here. We got the light bar, condenser, and 2 antennas. Okay, so yeah, Mrs. Maker just pointed out to me, there's 2 pieces here we did not use. We are supposed to hold on to them for future use. They don't want us putting them on yet. So we'll put them up here out of the way. Now we're moving on to stage 6. So let's take all here's stage 6. We'll take all this out of here and then we'll put them together. All right, stage 6. Step 1, assembling the platform. That sounds important, doesn't it? Okay, so they want us to take this part right here. And we'll orient it how they have it in the instructions. We then want to take the right side. All right, so I'm just going to look at how the picture is here. I'm going to orient it this way. And then this goes right onto here. And they get held in with 2A screws. Now we are going plastic on plastic, so we don't need any kind of lubricant right now. For the other side, we're going to do the same thing. And this lays right on top here. All right, there are obviously four holes right here. They line up with these recessed holes right here. They're countersunk a little bit. And they're going to get held in with those type C screws. Okay, all 4 of those screws are in. Now they want us attaching the single platform light. All right, so this apparently is the light. It goes into this D-shaped hole right back here. They tell you to trim the flash to make sure it fits. I'm just going to do a test fit right now. Maybe it actually will go in. And actually it does. It fits in real nice. Now, they said put a tiny tiny drop of glue on there, which is what we're going to do. And now, without gluing my fingers to the platform, put that in there, and we're just going to hold that tight for about 40 seconds. Okay, so that's now held into place. Now we're attaching the platform front lights. We're going to put that right over here. Attaching the platform front lights, so it wants us to bring in this piece right here, which you got to want to handle this. There's a long plastic shaft on this. It looks like it's real easy to break, so handle with care. And cut the 3 lenses off the sprues and fit them into the corresponding mounts of the platform. Apply a drop of glue if necessary. So here is the sprue. There's 4 lights on here. They all look to be the same size, so get your flush cutters out. Now, it's real important that you don't do this, okay? Because if you do this, this little light is going to fly off somewhere and you're never going to find it. So you're going to want to hold on to the light and then cut it. Now I'm going to attempt to put this in this light right here. Hopefully not having to super glue it. Let me turn it over. Oh, it didn't come out. Oh, yes it did. So as I thought, we're going to have to super glue them in here. So I want to take the other ones out right now and keep the lights right there. And I'm going to put a drop of super glue into each one of these. And the super glue will hold them in there rather nicely. So that is done. That's it for step 3. Okay, so now he wants us to bring back the platform. Identify the T-shaped fixing tab for the platform front lights and push it into the corresponding hole on the platform front. Apply a little super glue if necessary. And there is the little T-shaped hole right there. And this post is T-shaped right here. I'm going to fit that right in there. And it's pretty snug. I don't think we need any super glue. I think it's good. Attaching the platform handles. These are these tiny little things right here. So let's put some super glue right on there. Right on there. And right on there. These little tiny So I don't know if you can see that, but there's 2 handles. Grab rails right there. Now we're going to be assembling the axle, drive shaft, and wheel. So we're going to go from the top of the vehicle to the bottom of the vehicle. So here is the assembly here. I'm going to make sure I orient it right. So take the drive shaft, that's right here, and identify the end with a screw hole. That would be right here. Align the corresponding screw hole on the axle, and that would be right here. and fix in place with a type A screw. Alrighty. Again, this is plastic on plastic, so we don't need any kind of lubrication getting it in there. Alright, so that is right there. And step 3 of stage 6 is we're going to put some tires on now. Alright, that we did before, I guess. Well, actually just one, because that's all we did. Alright, so we are going to take the one tire we did and take the wheel from stage 01, which we did, push it onto the right rear axle post as shown, which is this right here. Fix in place with a type L screw. What? You'll see in a second. Okay, so that's in there. Rolls real nice. Take the hubcap from stage 01 and push it over the screw fixed in picture 4. So going to put the hubcap right in there. Now we're at the stage where we need to put the 4 suspension springs on the 4 vertical posts that are on the bottom of the chassis here. The springs just simply slip right over those posts. And we are all done with that. So that brings us to the end of stage 6, where we did the ladder bucket. We did the lights on the ladder bucket. We did some chassis work by putting the 1 set of tires on and the 4 suspension springs. So that brings us to stage 7. I've laid all the pieces out. And the first thing we're going to be working on is this shelf. Now, if you notice that little bar up there, that's going to be a magnet that we have to fit in the bottom part of the shelf. And it slips right in there between the 2 tabs at the edge of the bottom of the shelf. Now, they want you to dry fit this first to make sure it fits in case there's any flashing. I had no problem. It fit right in with no problem. So I'm just going to be able to go ahead and skip right to gluing. You lay the top part of the shelf over top of the bottom. Make sure the magnet doesn't slip. Press real hard until the glue takes hold, about 30 seconds, and you're good to go. Now we're going to be doing the doors for the left-hand side storage compartment. And it's pretty simple. This one piece just simply glues into the door, which has a magnet. And you want to orient it just the right way by looking at the pictures in the directions. And you're going to put a couple drops of glue in the 2 circles right there. And then just simply attach the 2 together, keeping the alignment the same. You want to hold them together for a few seconds to let the glue to set. And that door is done. All right, step 3 of stage 7. We're going to be doing the same as we did with this door. So we're going to be putting a little bit of super glue right on here. And we take the door. Put it right on. And those are 2 doors done. Now, moving on to step 4. Fixing the shelf and the doors to the storage compartment liner. Okay, now we're going to move on to step 4 of stage 7. So we're going to take this compartment right here. We're going to take the shelf that we did before, and it says ensure that the holes on the shelf are facing upwards before installing it into the brackets on each side of the compartment lining. Do not glue, as the shelf will slide in and out to store equipment at a later stage. They actually don't rest on these two sliders right here. You notice there's little recesses right here in the shelf. These slide right in there, which holds it into place. And then the pin on the back of the shelf goes right through the hole in the cabinet. So that's done. So now they want us to apply a drop of glue to the recess on the left-hand side of the compartment. Okay, so it's this way. All right, the reason I can tell it is I'm looking at the picture where the shelf is, and the shelf is a little farther up here, like it is up here. So it goes like this. And then align the peg holes with the peg hole. Apply a drop of glue. We're going to apply a drop of glue here and here. And then we're going to be putting the doors on. It doesn't look like, and it's going to be the door with the handle. So it's going to fit onto here. So it wants us to put some glue right in between these two pegs that the door fits on. So, and then fit the door on, fits right on these pegs. Now I'm just going to hold it here for about 40 seconds. Okay, so that is in there. So there's the one door in there. So let's see what step 5 is, and as we probably figured, we're going to be putting the door on for the other side. So that is held into place, and there's the cabinet. It's pretty cool. And the doors are held nicely in place by that magnet that we placed in this shelf. That's what that magnet was for. So, all right, that is stage 7. And that stage is complete. And that is just telling us about the screw holder we went over. So that is it for the first package. Let's do a massive review. Okay, so we're going to go over what we did today. First thing we start off with putting these two tires together. Okay, and then we moved on to doing this hose pack with the hose reel and nozzle. Then we moved on to doing a door. So we put all the door together with the working window. Okay. Then we moved to the rear of the vehicle and we put some hitches on the back. Okay. And then we moved along and did this other door, which was right here. Then we went and did the bumper. We did the siren and speaker grille. Then we did the front grille by putting the logo on and putting a fine mesh grille in the back. Then we moved into one of the jump seats and putting the post on the bottom. And then we moved to the top of the cab where we did 2 radio antennas. We did a condenser with a grill, and we also did an LED light bar, which we'll be doing later. Put that over here. Then we moved on to the ladder platform. We put some spotlights together. Of course, we put the overall platform together. Okay. And then we finished up with the axle and some springs. Be careful, don't lose the springs. They're going to be doing more of them later. And we had one leftover piece. Oh, that's right. And what we just finished up with, we did the cabinet and the shelf inside. And then this tower ladder banner right here, which is all metal, we store that aside. We're going to be using that at a future date. So that's everything. That's all 7 packs that we did today. So that's it for the first pack of the Agora Models Ladder 9 Firetruck. Like I said, it's going to be 23 inches long. It's going to be a big beast. So if you enjoyed this video and you think you found it helpful along with your projects, hit the like button. If you want to see more of what's coming out, especially with this project, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when they come out, hit the bell. So until next time, I'm Steve, and thanks for stopping by the Maker's Cave.